We each build our own future. We are the architects of our own fortune. Accomplishment, like life, will prove to be a journey, not a destination. Tomorrow belongs to those who have vision today. If you believe you can, then you will. Have confidence in your abilities, and then follow through with them. There was a manager who came early to a seminar we were presenting on leadership. He was attired in an olive green polo shirt and white pleated slacks, ready for a day of golf. He walked to the front of the room and said, "Look, your session is not mandatory, so I'm not planning on attending." "That's fine, but I wonder why you came early to the session to tell us that. There must be something that you'd like to know." "Well, yes, there is," the manager confessed. "All I want to know is how to get my people on the sales team to improve. How do I manage them?" "Is that all you want to know?" "Yes, that's it," declared the manager. "Well, we can save you a lot of time and make sure that you get to your golf game on time." The manager leaned forward, waiting for the words of wisdom that he could extract about how to manage his people. And we told him, "You can't." "What? You can't manage anyone? So there, you can go and have a great game." "What are you saying?" asked the manager. "I thought you give whole seminars on motivating others." "What do you mean, I can't?" "We do give whole seminars on this topic. But one of the first things we teach managers is that they can't really directly control their people. Motivation always comes from within your employee, not from you. So what is it you do teach? We teach you how to get people to motivate themselves. That is the key. And you do that by managing agreements, not people. And that is what we are going to discuss this morning." The manager put his car keys in his pocket and sat down in the first seat closest to the front of the room for the rest of the seminar. He has spent his whole life trying to manage the behavior and emotions of other people, at home as well as at work. Therefore, his life was full of stress and disappointment. We were going to show him that motivation comes from the inside, not the outside. The truth is that we can all have self-discipline. The question is really whether or not we learn to develop and use self-discipline. Here's another way to realize it: self-discipline is like a language. Any child can learn a language. All children do learn a language, actually. Any 90-year-old can also learn a new language. If you are 9 or 90 and you're lost in the rain in Juarez, it works when you use some Spanish to find your way to warmth and safety. It works. In this case, Spanish is like self-discipline in that you are using it for something. You were not born with the language, but you can learn it and use it. In fact, you can use as much or as little as you wish. And the more you use, the more you can make happen. If you were an American transferred to Juarez to live for a year and needed to make your living there, the more Spanish you spoke, the better it would be for you. If you had never spoken Spanish before, you could still use it like a tool. You could open your little English/Spanish phrases dictionary and start using it. You could ask for directions or help by using that little dictionary. You wouldn't need to have been born with any special language skills. The same is true with self-discipline, in the same exact way. Yet most people don't believe it. Most people think they either have it or they don't. Most people think it's a character trait or a permanent aspect of their personality. That's a profound mistake. That's a mistake that can ruin a life. But the good news is that it is never too late to correct that mistake in yourself and your people. Listen to how people get this so wrong. "He would be my top salesperson if he had any self-discipline at all," a company leader recently said. But he has none. Not true. He has as much self-discipline as anyone else does, he just hasn't chosen to use it yet. Just as we all have as many Spanish words to draw upon as anyone else. It is true that the more often I choose to go to my little dictionary and use the words, the easier it becomes to use Spanish. If I go enough times to the book, and practice enough words and phrases, it gets so easy to speak Spanish that it seems as if it's part of my nature, like it's something I have inside me. Just like golf looks as if it comes naturally to Tiger Woods. Self-discipline is the same. If the person you lead truly understood that self-discipline is something one uses, not something one has, then that person could use it to accomplish virtually any goal he or she ever set. That person could use it whenever he wanted, or leave it behind whenever he wanted. Instead, people worry. They worry about whether they've got what it takes. Whether it's in them. Whether their parents and guardians put it there. Some think it's put there experientially, some think it's put there genetically. It's neither. It's never put in there at all. It's a tool that anyone can use. Like a hammer. Like a dictionary. Enlightened leaders get more out of their people because they know that each of their people already has everything it takes to be successful. They don't buy the excuses, the apologies, and the sad fatalism that most non-performers skillfully sell to their managers. They just don't buy in. 3. To accomplish great things, we must not only act, but also dream, not only plan, but also believe. When you think you can't revisit a previous triumph, sometimes things become possible if we want them bad enough. Don't you get it? This very second you could be doing something you love and dream about doing. So do it. Now. To be a leader, you must stand for something, or you will fall for anything. The spirit, the will to win, and the will to excel are the things that endure. These qualities are so much more important than the events that occur. Victory is always possible for the person who refuses to stop fighting. Great works are performed not by strength, but perseverance. It doesn't matter what you are thinking, or what fear you have, if you just do it. Action is the only thing that matters. I can see that at the end of my life, I am not going to look back and say, I wish I had taken more action. A Diana von Wellenetz Wentworth: people become successful the minute they decide to. Winning is not a sometime thing. You don't win once in a while, you don't do things right once in a while, you do them right all of the time. Winning is a habit, unfortunately, so is losing. 4. Accept the past for what it was. Acknowledge the present for what it is. Anticipate the future for what it can become. If we are to achieve results never before accomplished, we must expect to employ methods never before attempted. Successful people tend to become more successful because they are always thinking about their successes. I have tried 99 times and have failed, but on the 100th time came. The past is over. Forget it. The future holds hope. Reach for it. If we are to achieve results never before accomplished, we must expect to employ methods never before attempted. Having conceived of his purpose, a man should mentally mark out a straight pathway to its achievement, looking neither to the right or to the left, but straight. People with goals succeed because they know where they are going. To me, a winner is someone who recognizes their God-given talents, works his tail off to develop them into skills, and uses those skills to accomplish his goals. Even when I lost, I learned what my weaknesses were and I went out the next day to turn those weaknesses into strengths. To me, a winner is someone who recognizes their God-given talents, works his tail off to develop them into skills, and uses those skills to accomplish his goals. Even when I lost, I learned what my weaknesses were and I went out the next day to turn those weaknesses into strengths. Each day we must strive for constant and never-ending improvement. The size of your success depends on the depth of your desire. Don't limit your challenges, challenge your limits. When everything feels like an uphill struggle, just think of the view from the top. To change bad habits, we must study the habits of successful role models. Trust in yourself. Your perceptions are often far more accurate than you are willing to believe. Imagination rules the world. God created all men equal. Why do some accomplish far greater accomplishments than others? Because they had a vision, a desire, and they took action. Motivation is like food for the brain. You cannot get enough in one sitting. It needs continual and regular refills. Only those who risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. Success is the prize for those who stand true to their ideas.